Hi everyone, my name is Andrea and I'm going to be your lecturer for BIOH111 or your Human Biological Sciences 1. This is your first anatomy and physiology course in which you will study 7 different modules starting from cells. I will go into that in a little bit more detail in a minute, but I wanted to first get you orientated around some sort of housekeeping things that you may need as you move forward in not only BIOH111 but as you go through your degree. So the first that I wanted to show you is that you need to find your Endeavour website. Now this website has got like massive amounts of information that you may or may want or may need. And one of the things that I really wanted to show you is the relevant policies and procedures. So if we go to the actual website, which I've opened over here, you may see this website already. You may have seen, you have been introduced to the website already, but what I wanted to, and this is all sort of front page thing, but what I wanted to kind of get your attention to is if you go all the way down to the bottom, it says current students. Now you're current students for Endeavour. So what you need to do is get yourself familiarized with some of the policies and procedures that we have at Endeavour College of Natural Health. Okay, the easiest way of doing that is if you go down to the current students, you have all these different links as well. You're more than welcome to browse through them, but what I do want to show you is this policies and procedures and forms. Okay, when you click on that, you have a bunch of things that you would want or not want to read. Some of them are really important. For example, if you studied in a different institution and you think that you have some way of getting credit for some of the subjects, please go and read the educational pathway policy by clicking on this download button. Once you've read the policy, contact the pathways office and they can arrange the meeting as well as all the other stuff that needs to go for the paperwork that you may need to actually do this. The other forms that you may need is the actual form on extensions and deferrals. So if you type in here extension and press search, it will come up with 2 different forms. You don't need this postgraduate research degree thesis extension form because you're not postgrad, you're still undergraduate. So what you need is this application form for extension of written assignment. Now, when you click and download that, you can fill in your reasons for the extension. And in the form, it actually tells you how to apply for this extension. So who do I contact from the moment I've actually put all this together? Okay, so make sure that you do that sort of on regular basis if you need help. These forms and these policies are in place for you to assist you in driving this degree forward. Okay, so don't be afraid to use it, and always, if you have any further questions, you always can ask your student services, your local student services team. Okay, so that's your relevant policies and procedures. For example, extension policies, I've shown you where to find those. Library link. Let's go again to the website and let's go back to Endeavour College of Natural Health. Up here you will find a few links that you will need for not just BIOH111 but also for your degrees going forward. One of them is the library. If you click down up here, you will come to the front page of the library. One thing that will be quite important for you and where you will find all the biosciences sort of related links and help is if you go up to this LibGuides and find biosciences, click on that. And you will see linked to different LibGuides, okay? For BIOH111, you would press Human Biological Sciences like this. Up here, you will see a name. This name is a librarian that specializes in helping students with bioscience courses. So please feel free to contact her when you need to, for extra library-related help, okay? So down here, you will have some links to YouTube videos that you will find quite important, some ebooks that are wider readings, so not readings that are actually recommended, but and that I need you to have, but also the sort of wider readings that you might you might need going forward. Down here, you will find something that's quite important in terms of our BIOH111. Some of these things like what is a primary research article, article sections, things to watch out for, and paraphrasing, all of these things are going to come really, really handy when you start writing and thinking about written assignment. Okay, so make sure that you click through these and also through the written assignment guidelines, which contains quite a lot of links to different things that will help you with different aspects of the actual assignment. Okay, we will talk about assignments in a webinar sort of form, so watch out for those on the loop. Okay. So get yourself familiar with the LibGuides. It's the easiest way of getting yourself orientated around the resources that we have or don't have for that matter. And if you find something that you don't think we have, but we should have, please let us know. Okay? All right. The next thing that I wanted to show you is, excuse me, it's your... So if we go back to Endeavour, your LMS site, okay? Oh, this is interesting. If you go back to Endeavour website, so let's type that up, Endeavour. The other link that I wanted to show you is this LMS login, okay? If you click that, and log in with your username and password. You will come to the to the front page of your LMS, okay? Now, my LMS is a little bit different because I have different access to you guys, but what you want to do is find the BIOH111 LMS page, okay? And it will look something like this for you as well, and it will have all these different tabs week 1 all the way to week 14. Then it will have a welcome tab. In that welcome tab, you will have a little letter from me, and you will also have a little video from myself, from all the your online academics, welcoming you to your BIOH111 online. Okay. Subject outline, we'll go over a little bit with subject outline when it comes to both content and assessment in a minute. But the other link that you will need is this link here, which is called assessments. Okay, the tab itself will contain these assessment links, so where to actually complete your assessment. But it will also contain these guidelines, okay? Now, these guidelines are extremely important for you to read as soon as possible so that you get your head around what are you actually doing, okay? Concept map we will come back to at a later date, but it is one of those assessment pieces that you need to start literally today, okay? Down here you will have some final exam prep guides as well as the link to the final exam. Okay. Now, the other point that I wanted to make here is this connect button. Now, this connect button, you will have something we call the loop. Okay, this loop here is basically my and your online academic tutors link to yourselves. Okay, so this is where you answer questions. This is where you ask for help. This is where you're communicating with not just your online academics, but with your peers as well. Okay, we will create some groups for you to work in terms of getting the tutorial questions just correct, which you will then, as a group, put onto the main loop for everyone to see. Okay, so we'll talk about that a little bit later on, with your online academic, and I will mention it a few times myself. Okay, so we talked about the relevant policies, we talked about the library. This is your login. Within your login, you will also find a few tabs that are actually quite useful. Okay, so if we go up here, you'll find a library that if you press this button, it will literally take you to the library website. But in the library, you will need a couple of points that you will need to consider sort of soonish. Not right now, but soonish. One of which is research skills tutorials, and the other one is the APA referencing guidelines. So this is the guideline for referencing the work of somebody else in your written assignment. Okay. The other tab that I wanted to show you is this study skills. Especially, I would like to point you to academic skills. Academic skills is basically going to give you a little bit more of a guideline on how to not just research, but also how to paraphrase something, how to put sentences in action, how to put sentences into appropriate paragraphs. Okay, so that your written assignment actually flows. It has a point, and every paragraph has a specific topic and point that you're trying to make. So those two tabs, extremely important. Go and play around, familiarize yourself with them, what they have, what they don't have. And again, if you have any sort of feedback on those points, please feed it back to me, because then I will make sure that we do have someone building that up in a way that students will use. Okay, in BIOH111, we'll talk about the subject outline in a minute and the overview of topics as well as the assessment. I've shown you already the connect button on your tabs, especially the loop. The difference between the loop and the notice board is that the loop, you can communicate, the two of us can communicate, between each other. The notice board is actually just me communicating with you. Okay, so there's no reciprocal. You can't respond to that board. So sometimes when I just want to give a wide information, or an online academic just wants to give a wide information about a topic, for example, a summary of something, or for your information, this is what you need to do now, kind of thing. This is where we would normally post that. Okay. Tutorials are extremely important. They are the sort of foundation of not just reiterating the content that you need to know, but also think of it as a really good preparation guide for the actual exam. Okay, I'll talk about tutorials again in a little bit more detail. Textbook, extremely important, especially if you're online student. Sometimes the way that I will explain things might not quite sync, so there's the actual textbook might be easier to explain. Your peer groups are extremely important when it comes to these things, so forming that group and putting answers on the loop around the questions that you have been assigned in tutorials is extremely important, so please do that. Mindfulness is something that, because you're not in the classroom, you can definitely do that at home, and I will post some links to particular resources that you may want to use as you go through the BIOH111 or any other subject for that matter. Okay, the last thing that I wanted to say is on each of the home campuses that you have, I know that you're online students, but on each of the campuses, you will also find group tutorials, okay, for this particular subject. So if you have any questions or problems, or you're just not getting it, you've read the textbook, you've listened to me 17 times and it's still not sinking in, you're gone through the PowerPoints, you have gone to different YouTube videos and it's just not really gelling, all of that is normal. All of that is normal. Sometimes someone else explaining it to you might actually be the easiest way of doing it. Okay? So please go to your student services on your local campus and ask them about these group tutorials, and ask them, how do I, what time are they, where are they, and how do I get myself there? Do I need to sign up? The answer is no. Are they compulsory? The answer is no as well. So, but the help is there. Okay, if you want to talk to someone sort of one-on-one, that help is there as well. So please make sure that you have that in the back of your head, that the help is actually there.